Let's observe silence for some time. Oh, so currently we are studying the third chapter of this book, The Virus of Attachment. And we have covered the first three topics: how attachment arises, love versus attachment, the three poems. We saw the main message. And the fourth topic, attachment, is calamitous. We are almost halfway through. So to recap the main points in the fourth topic, the first few paragraphs, what we need to understand is the entire process of attachment starts with a selfish thought. Innocuously, it is happening. I want this, I want that, objects and beings of the world. It could be anything tangible, also it could be intangible. So the moment that selfish thought arises, then you get attached and possessive about that. So you want to acquire that object or a being, you want to possess it, and then the range of emotions follow. You could get stressed if you don't acquire. If you acquire, there's a fear of losing it. There is envy, there could be arrogance. So all these host of emotions, they produce mental agitations. That is number one. Number two, you're not aware that you're attached. So that's the problem. Life will be very simple if all of us could understand that, yes, I'm attached and I'm paying the price for that attachment. It could be to anything, but you're not aware of your attachments. So it's deadly. And since you're not aware, you cannot correlate the cause and effect. Effect is mental agitation, sorrow, suffering, all that. So you feel problem is in the world, objects and beings in the world. Parents believe problem is with children. Nothing wrong with children. They are sweet and innocent. It is your attachment which is producing unnecessary conflict, confrontations, or mental agitations as far as you are concerned. So how can you overcome your attachment if you are not aware you are attached. Do you understand the difficulty? So these are the main points I think we covered in the first few paragraphs. Then I think also we talked about law of diminishing returns. Did we discuss that? Yeah, so it's there in the book that once you acquire an object, the tendency is to indulge in that experience. So initially you get that kick, you get X amount of enjoyment. But if you go on indulging, if you go on contacting indiscriminately, then the law of diminishing returns applies. That with every subsequent contact, the pleasure content reduces. That is the law of diminishing returns. And if you stretch it too much, if you are totally indulgent, then you don't get any pleasure when you contact the world. And when it is pronounced, we understand, isn't it? So we all are breathing oxygen. I mean, what pleasure are we getting? We are totally neutralized to it. If you are healthy, I mean, it's no big deal. We take it for granted. But when something happens, even for a time being, couple of weeks, we appreciate the use of a normal, healthy body, Something goes into your eye, even for a few days, it hurts. Or some cavity is getting formed, you go to a dentist, he does root canal, few days it hurts. But otherwise, what's the big deal? Day in and day out, we are eating whatever is there. We are neutralized. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Now you apply that principle. So when you start indulging in the objects and beings of the world, you don't get any pleasure, which applies to a relationship also. So if you give space in the relationship, I'm talking about two partners, whole life you can enjoy each other's company. But day in and day out, suffocatingly, you are hanging on to each other, holding on to each other. I mean, you lose that joy in the relationship, isn't it? So these were the main points we discussed last week. So any doubts? Do you need any explanation? Any concept is not clear? All right, great. So Raju, we can play the last two paragraphs. So we are on, where are we? Attachment is calamitous. So that's the topic. Last two paragraphs, Raju is going to play for us.
Attachment is calamitous. Human beings the world over have developed a general trait of self-centeredness, selfishness, or happiness that you seek therefrom. The aftermath of attachment is uncompromising, devastating. It has destroyed peace and harmony in the world. The human race is left with stress and strain, and mental pressures have driven humans to the edge of depression and divorce, strokes and cardiac arrest. The suffering and sorrow they go through stem from attachment they bear to objects and beings of the world. Attachment has had its toll on human beings for centuries. Yet, neither the governing bodies nor the people are concerned in detecting, much less investigating, the cause of this serious malady. The cause is obvious. People around the world are attached to practically anything they contact. And the fallout of this wide range of attachment in virtually everyone, everywhere, has been mental depression, physical disorder, and even death. The deadly trait of attachment operates in different facets of life. It could be in the realm of wealth, women, children, religion, etc. Typical examples of these attachments displayed by humans are detailed below.
So, what is telling us? See, first he talked about attachment. So, that is clear to us. Second point is you are attached to practically everything. Whatever you contact in the world, the tendency of the mind is to get attached to it. But it's not that in all areas your attachment is pronounced. See, there is general attachment, you are generally attached to everything, but there are certain pockets where it is more pronounced. So you need to identify your pronounced attachment in life. You could be tremendously attached to your children, or you could be attached to obsess about wealth. Another person may not be that attached to children or wealth, but he could be completely attached to, let's say, reputation, name, fame. Okay, these things don't bother you, relatively speaking, but you could be attached to your religion and you may end up becoming a religious fanatic. So you need to analyze using this knowledge. You need to find out what is happening to you. See, that is that self-analysis. And then you need to lecture to yourself, meaning you need to educate yourself about what happens when you're attached. So that's that you are able to correlate cause and effect. That I'm going through mental stress or whatever, frustration, and my attachment to a particular object or a being is the cause. So the problem is not in the external world. Problem is the source of mental agitation is where?
Within us.
Within us. That is your attachment. And then he is going to analyze few major attachments. Wealth, woman meaning relationship, children, religion. So that's what he's telling us. Typical examples of these attachments displayed by humans are detailed below. So he starts with wealth. So are we following the thought flow? So Raji, let's play the entire topic, wealth.
Wealth. Wealth is a commodity that can be exchanged for sense objects. With wealth, you can purchase color and form for the eyes, sound for the ears, smell for the nose, taste for the tongue, and touch for the skin. No more. With wealth, you cannot buy love. You cannot buy knowledge. Hence, a person who runs after wealth is actually running after sense objects. The sense organs have a natural tendency to gravitate to the sense objects of the world. This tendency becomes further aggravated by the power of the sense objects to tantalize the sense organs, literally pulling the sense organs towards them. Thus, there is a push from within the person and a pull from the external world. In this predicament, a human being develops an attachment for the sense objects that drives him to acquiring more and more wealth. It is not wrong to acquire money as one needs sense objects for a living. But to crave for and accumulate wealth indiscriminately, even beyond one's liberal needs, would ruin the personality. The wise have cautioned humanity of the dire consequences of accumulating wealth. It is the craving that degrades and destroys the hoarders of wealth. In human history, commoners seek to become rich all through their lifespan, and the rich crave to reach the super rich. They then become victims of what is labeled as wealth fatigue syndrome. When the addiction to wealth gets further aggravated and people speculate indiscriminately to gain more and more, it ends in financial crashes. Such crashes occurring time and again in the financial markets of the world is an aftermath of man's uncontrollable greed for wealth. However, in this scenario, a rare one reaches near limitless wealth, becomes obnoxiously rich. Such a person lives a life of a loner, depressed with a terrible feeling of monotony. He remains occupied day after day with the problem of staying rich. Ironically, the children of the affluent also suffer from clinical depression.
So, very important aspect of your life, and hardly anybody understands the role of wealth in life, isn't it? See, the moment you talk about wealth, what is the general reaction? Or let me put it this way, is wealth required in life?
Yes,
Mhm.
you need wealth in order to maintain general day-to-day living.
Mhm.
But it's not a necessity to become obsessed with it.
So that is first part of that's my question. Is wealth required in life? This is the question.
Yes.
Answer would be yes, answer would be no. There is no third answer. So anybody disagrees with Bina? You have to take some stance, right? I mean, this is how you think. You can take stance. No, I don't think wealth is required in life. There's nothing wrong in that stance, but at least you are thinking. And then you may give explanation why it is not required. Or if you feel it is required, then you can justify or give your own analysis that why it is required. So I repeat the question, is wealth required in life?
I'll say that wealth is not required for life, depending on your individual definition of wealth, but access to resources is required for life. And okay, so the answer to the first question is no, wealth is not required for life.
Then how do you buy food? How do you buy clothes? How do you educate your children? How do you buy a house?
Well, you do need resources, but when I think of wealth, I think of more than, resources for the basic needs. Like I perceive wealth as being resources to not just have transportation, but to have a Mercedes. So I think that to understand how we're defining wealth would matter to the question. So yes, we need money for basic resources, but we don't necessarily need to be wealthy.
Wealth means money. So in short, you're saying you need money, you need wealth to buy the resources of the world. It's quite simple. That's what even the book is saying. Anyone agrees or disagrees with Manika?
Yes, it's clear that we need wealth.
Okay. It's a short and sweet answer. Good.
Yeah, we need wealth, we need money for basics plus convenience and comfort.
Okay. So we all understand and agree that wealth is a commodity which is necessary for your sustenance. Without wealth, you cannot sustain yourself. And there are two extreme views. One set of people, they discard wealth. They feel money is not required. And 99.99% of them, they end up becoming caricature. Unless you have evolved to a level, such a level, it doesn't matter really what you get. But most people, they are dependent on the world. So therefore, they end up becoming caricatures. So one set of people, they feel there is nothing in wealth, they discard wealth. So they have misunderstood the role of wealth. What is that misunderstanding? That it is required for sustenance. Another set of people, they believe wealth is everything. That unless they have wealth, they cannot be happy. So they are obsessed with wealth. So one set of people, they discard wealth. Another set of people, they are obsessed with wealth. They have black market value for wealth. So with this knowledge, when you have the knowledge of Vedanta, this is what we are discussing. You learn to give right value to wealth. What is that right value? That yes, wealth is required, money is required for my sustenance. That's the right value. For my sustenance, I need to buy sense objects from the world. You need to buy clothes, you need to educate yourself, your family, you need a roof on your head, you need to eat. That's what I mean. So it's required. So that's the right value for wealth. So how can I survive? How can I sustain if I don't have wealth? That's the right value. So wealth can, that is point number one. Number two, wealth can buy sense objects, which are required. But anybody who is obsessed with sense objects, meaning they want to indulge in the sense objects, see, they develop that craving for wealth. So when you are running after wealth, you are running after sense objects. Are you getting that connection? But wealth cannot buy happiness. Wealth cannot buy contentment. Wealth cannot buy love. Wealth cannot buy wisdom. You can't buy friends with wealth. What kind of friends will be there? I mean, see, when you lose wealth, you come to know who your true friends are, isn't it? So you need sense objects, and with wealth, you can buy sense objects. Now, wealth is not the problem. Follow this point very carefully. Craving for wealth is the problem. Do you see the difference? Why wealth is not a problem? You may have all the wealth in the world, You may be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. So wealth is not the problem. Craving for the wealth is the problem. Greed is another word. In Bhajagovindam, he uses the word Trishna. Trishna meaning greed or obsession. That craving for wealth is the problem, not the wealth. And when you have that craving for wealth, when greed overpowers your personality, then there is no such thing called as enough wealth. Now, what is your definition of enough wealth? I mean, there are 20, 25 of us here. Each one will have his own definition, and everybody is right from his or her point of view. If there is craving, follow me carefully. So when greed for wealth overpowers your personality, enough is never enough. So whole life you are restless to acquire wealth. And also you are not content. It doesn't matter how much of wealth you acquire. It's not that once you acquire 500,000, 1 million, you are content. No, immediately mind pitches up something else. So it is called as snares of 99. We often use this word. In fact, Swami Ramatirtha, he coins that term, snares of 99. And it's a trap. So if you have $99, you would do anything to have $100 bill, isn't it? It looks like one neat $100 bill, rather than $1 bill, 99 of them. So you will do anything to get $100. So that is that snares of 99. You have $999, you want $1,000. You have $9,999, you want $10,000. You're close to $1 million. It's not bad. Let's say you have $900,000, $950,000, but million is million. And you go on applying this. Even the richest person in the world, he wants more riches. So that's that money psychology when that greed takes over. And that's what he's explaining in the book. This is how financial crashes are happening in the world. It is happening collectively, also it can happen individually. 2008, what happened in America? Every 5, 6 years, 10 years, it is happening. That collective greed takes over and the whole economy goes down. And then he talks about wealth fatigue syndrome. This is fascinating psychology. So beyond a point, if you acquire wealth, what will you do with that? You have X amount of money. Let's say you have $100 million. I'm magnifying. What will you do with $100 million? You can indulge in whatever you want to indulge, right? Will going to Starbucks give you a kick? You don't have to have $100 million. I think none of us here will be excited to go to Starbucks. Is there anyone here who is looking forward to going to Starbucks? Just as an example, I am giving you. What's the big deal? But imagine when you are, parents were giving you pocket money and, you saved money and you went to Starbucks. I mean, you enjoyed that experience. So now what's the big deal? Maybe every day you go through drive-through and you have a cup of coffee. So you have to imagine based on this example. So when you have money beyond your needs and when you start indulging in the sense objects, this is what you can do with money, you don't get that kick from wealth at all. It's called as wealth fatigue syndrome. So nothing from no sense objects can give you that joy. This is what has happened to rich people. And when it is pronounced, we understand. A lot of people ask this question that he or she, they had everything, celebrities, but then why are they going through depression? It's not that everybody goes through that, But there's so many examples we keep on discussing in the class, isn't it? Okay, what happened to Michael Jackson? What happened to Elvis Presley? What happened to Marilyn Monroe? I mean, we can go on multiplying examples. They had everything in the world. But in spite of that, all of them, they had a terrible end, isn't it? Because there is nothing to look forward to in life because you have everything. So you're indulged so much that there is no excitement in life at all. Okay, you haven't been on a cruise, Antarctic cruise. So you're looking forward to it. But when you have indulged in everything, I mean, what? I mean, will going on a cruise give you a kick? You're indulging in all the cruises in the world. But what is there? Will buying Mercedes-Benz give you a kick? You already have 4 or 5 cars in your garage. So what is it that you're looking forward to? See, he's talking about those who are really indulging in wealth, those who have a lot of wealth. So it is called as wealth fatigue syndrome. And this is what is happening. This is, first of all, you have done this to yourself, and innocently you are doing it to your own children. Do you get it? I think in America, this wealth fatigue syndrome is not difficult to explain. Relatively speaking, most people, they have, at least people who attend these classes, most of them, they are relatively well-to-do. So how are you passing on that to your children? Can anybody explain this? I am sure 99% of you have done this and you're not aware of it. I can prove it to you with examples. If somebody does not agree with me. Wealth fatigue syndrome. This is what we are discussing. Fine. You are a victim of that. It is your life. You do what you want to do. But why are you spoiling your children's life? So how are you doing it? Can anybody explain that?
I think it's like when a kid just keeps asking for something when they already have something that is just as valuable. So maybe a kid already has a PlayStation and they want the Wii, but you already have a PlayStation, and then just continuously giving into their wants as they pop up.
Yes, perfect. What kick are you going to get by PlayStation as a kid? You already have the latest. But if you go back to your own young days, I mean, I don't think 30 years back, our parents, they spoiled us this much. I don't think so, isn't it? Now it's wholesale pampering. That time, I don't know what word to use. It was a little bit pampering, but it's gone to a different level. So this is what Lynn is trying to tell us. So you buy them all the goodies in the world. Toys, child needs a toy, definitely. But how many toys? 100 toys, 200 toys, 500 toys. I mean, it can go on and on. So what pleasure the child is going to get out of toys? There's nothing to look forward to. When they become 17, how you celebrate their 17th birthday? Good many families are seeing this happening. What do you give them what toy you give them on their 17th birthday?
A car.
The car what? Chevy? Him?
Uh-huh.
That you got from your parents. What you gave to Calvin? I don't want to know.
No, you remember we had the conversation. I gave him a Toyota, even though he wanted something else. He wanted an Audi.
Because you are exposed to this knowledge. Therefore, him without this knowledge would have given him Audi 5 Series. If he wanted 3 series, you would have given him 5 series. I'm quite sure. Since you're exposed to this knowledge, you give them Audis, BMWs, Mercedes. I mean, what pleasure they are going to get out of it? This is my point. But when you bought, let's say, BMW with your own money, how did you feel? See, I'm trying to analyze that. Something you look forward to. But a 17-year-old kid, for him, BMW, Audi, Mercedes, whatever, has got no value at all. It's just one example we are discussing. So you shower them with all the goodies, you pamper them to the T. So what is there to look forward to in life? So therefore it is called as wealth fatigue syndrome. And good many of these children who are pampered, they lose that motivation in life. In spite of having everything, they go through depression. What is that depression? There is that depression is produced by having too many things. Are you following? So that is one analysis. I don't know how many of you have seen the movie. It's a mad world. I saw that movie when I was, I don't know, in my 10th grade or something like that. Charu, I went with my brother to Metro. She knows Metro Theatre in Churchgate. I was in 9th grade. My brother took me. Amazing, it's highly philosophical movie. Has anybody seen that movie? Just one person. You have to see that. Amazing movie. It's a mad world. That obsession with money. I can't explain. You have to see the movie. Fascinating. So one set of people, due to that greed, they go on borrowing and they crash. So this may happen individually, also this may happen collectively. So many businesses, they have collapsed because of too much of borrowing. Same thing you may do at your level. Just go on borrowing money till you crash in life. There are people who borrow money and indulge. It's a different category altogether. You have money, you indulge, fine, it's your life. But there are people who take loans to indulge. Buy now, pay later. It's a typical American thing, isn't it?
Credit card.
Sorry?
Credit card.
Yeah, credit card. The average American owes I don't know, scary amount to the bank. It's something like $8,000, $10,000. That's the national average. People borrow money and go on a vacation. This is the latest thing. Last 5-10 years it has started. Buy now, go later. Enjoy now, pay later. So therefore, the conclusion is where wealth accumulates, men decay. Oliver Goldsmith says that. That does not mean wealthy people decay. This is again misunderstood. Where wealth accumulates, people decay. And that indulgence, that greed, that obsession for wealth is the problem, not wealth. Because you do not know how to relate to wealth. I'm explaining that statement. Where wealth accumulates, men decay. Oliver Goldsmith says that. Why is he saying that? Because you do not know how to relate to wealth. You indulge in it. So not only you harm yourself, but also you harm your family members. Are you with me? So therefore, in Indian scriptures, in Vedanta, the god of wealth is portrayed as Kubera, a goblin, ugly creature. He is the god of wealth, the lord of wealth. You can't even look at him. The most unfit, ugly person in the world. It's all symbolic. There is no such goblin, please. But also, goddess of wealth is portrayed as Lakshmi, a beautiful, virtuous lady. It's contradiction, isn't it? And Lakshmi follows Lord Vishnu. Vishnu meaning supreme reality, higher values. So when you have higher values and then you acquire wealth, then it's a beautiful commodity to have, because you will do good to yourself, to your family members, and also to the world. But if you don't have higher values, you have greed, you are self-centered. The first victim of wealth is you, your children, your family members, your friends, society, community. So therefore, Lakshmi is a virtuous person, that is goddess of wealth. Also, the god of wealth is an ugly person, a goblin. Do you follow? And when you are attached to wealth, when you're obsessed with wealth, every aspect associated with wealth is a pain. So I repeat, when you are attached to wealth, each aspect associated with wealth is a nuisance. To begin with, pursuit of wealth, earning wealth itself is a headache. Why it is a headache, earning of wealth? Why it is a nuisance? Can anybody answer that question? If you're attached, understood.
Yep.
Why pursuit of wealth is not a pleasant experience? Why?
Because it's never enough.
Excellent. It is never enough. Let's say your goal is $100,000, you acquire $100,000, you're happy. There is no such thing. So the moment you acquire $100,000, you want more. So that pursuit itself is it's just a never-ending thing. Then preservation of wealth also is a headache, though you're attached to it. I remember a long time back, 18, 19 years back, I think it was my first or second year in Canada, something like that. So I was living in Toronto, and also I had started a class in Waterloo, which is about, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 miles from Toronto. I mean, I didn't have a car in my first year. So they had some kind of a bus service, every half an hour or 1 hour there was a bus. So after the lecture is over, one gentleman, he said, okay, I will drop you. And his friend had told me, my host, in fact, he was supposed to drop me all the way to Toronto. And he said, like, my friend will drop you. Yeah, that is how the whole thing started. So this guy, he started off, I mean, he offered me to drive all the way to Toronto, which is about 50, 60 miles. And then he started grumbling about the gas price. And that time I remember they have in liter, the gas price had really shot up, meaning by 30, 40 cents. So 5-10 minutes he grumbled about the gas price. And then he said, is it okay if I drop you at a bus station? And I had to wait for 2 hours for the bus. And when my host came to know, I mean, he called me 5 minutes he was screaming and yelling at his own friend. He couldn't do that. You know how much of wealth he has. Both husband and wife are doctors. He's saying he has enough money for 2 generations. And he's driving me in Lexus, big Lexus. And that guy is complaining about the gas price. Are you following what I'm trying to say? He feels he's losing his wealth because gas price has shot up. So where is enjoyment? So that preservation of wealth, the stock price goes up. It's like almost like your heart is in your mouth. It's not easy if you're attached. Spending also is a torture if you're attached, isn't it? So where is pleasure? So every aspect of wealth is a torture if you are attached to it. That is understood. If you're not attached to it, then how does it matter? Whatever money you have, you enjoy, you understand the value. So how do you relate to wealth is the question. You should be content with what you have throughout your life. And then you can aspire for more. I mean, what's wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that. But if you're not content with what you have, you will never be content in your entire life. And due to that frustration, due to discontentment, number one, you will not enjoy your current wealth. Also, you will not be able to acquire more because you're mentally disturbed. You cannot be productive. It's a lose-lose situation. But if you are content with what you have, you enjoy every aspect of wealth. You're living in a 2-bedroom apartment, for argument's sake. So you enjoy that. Maybe you're in a 1-bedroom apartment, now you're in 2 bedrooms. So why not enjoy? But if you're not content, your contentment will depend on your future acquisition. This is the problem. So never peg your current happiness on future acquisition. Do you get the difference? If I get that, I'll be happy. You'll never be happy entire life. But if you are happy with what you have, you enjoy your present life, and also when in future you get more wealth, I mean, that also is okay. Why not? So be content with what you have and continue working unselfishly in your profession, whatever aspect of life, all aspects of life. Then you'll be happy, plus you'll be prosperous, you'll be successful, both. So this is as far as wealth is concerned. So any questions? See, I mean, we discussed at least, I don't know, 12 to 14 points, 15 points. So it's in-depth analysis of wealth. So we'll have to think about it. So tomorrow morning is the right time. But anything not clear, you want to clarify? I'll give you 2 minutes. No questions? All right, so it is 9:20 in the night in India, and tomorrow I have a flight to catch. I'm heading back to US. And what, 10 minutes are left. So I think I will catch you when you're fresh next week. So read the entire chapter, the first 3 topics and whatever we covered just now. And if something is not clear, bring it up next week. So should we conclude? I mean, are we okay?
Yes.
We're okay.
Okay. Okay, great. So I will see you next week.
Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amaji.
You.
You.